Alright, welcome people to Story Time with Logical Cold. First story. Alright, this is the first story that I ever wrote. Mystery of I do not know how to pronounce that word, but I'm just going to call it Berlin. Part 1. I'm going to go read step by step. Alright, this is the first story that I ever wrote. Mystery of I do not know how to pronounce that word, but I'm just going to call it Berlin. Part 1. I'm going to go read step by step. Alright, this is the first story that I ever wrote. There's feedback coming from it. I don't see any more anymore. And alright, I guess this is it. Alright, so let's go. Okay. I woke up from a nightmare. I turned to look inside my window. The sky was dark gray. It was raining very heavily. I got out of my bed and changed into my work clothes. I remembered my nightmare that I had. In my nightmare, I was inside my room, and a tall, thin man walked into the room. He was dressed in all black. I thought he might be some man in black. Yes, his eyes were dark blue, and his hair was black. He said, "Hello, Mr. Detective. I see you have been looking into my murders." Hold on. Let's see. I see you've been looking into my murders. Where is it? Yes. He said, I see you've been looking. I looked at the man in shock. He said, my name is Ursum. It is my business to... Wait, is that he? He said, my name is... Yeah, and it is my business to know what others don't know. I pulled out my notes from my desk. I said, interesting. I can see that you are very intelligent and very knowledgeable when you entered the room. I observed some things about you. Ursum smiled. His teeth were white as snow. He said, I would be happy to hear your deductions about me. I looked inside Ursum's eyes, and I saw nothing, no evil, just a normal look. I walked over to my favorite wooden chair and sat down in it. I said, you consider yourself a businessman or a professor, but you are not a businessman. You are an intelligent mastermind, and you have been to China, and you have studied martial arts. Bursum laughed out loud. He said, "Very well done. Your observation and deductional skills are on point. You see, I have a murder for you to solve. It's very interesting." It's very interesting. Okay. I pull out my notes from inside my pocket and look through the papers. I said, "I already know the murder you're talking about. The murder of a homeless man. I observed that he is not your normal homeless person. He was very brilliant, and he knows a lot of things. I know he had some information on your little organization." Bursum turned and walked to the door. He said, "Here is a clue. Look inside the area of the homeless person's place. You might find something interesting." The address is 22 Hall Lane Street. "I wish you good luck, Mr. Detective." Ursulum walks outside and closes the door behind him. I walk to my rack. It's a long white rack with a long hunting crop and a long single stick on it. I grab my hunting rack off the rack and put it inside my jacket pocket. I walked to the door and opened it. I walked outside and closed the door behind me. I looked across the street and I saw my partner, Kudo, standing there looking at the cars that go by. I jogged across the street. I said, "Ursulum arrived at my house. He has a new case for us." Kudo's eyes were dark green. He was wearing a white suit and pants. He said, "The murder of the homeless person? Yes, I already know. I've been asking around about what happened. I leaned against the pole. I looked at Kudo and said, "Tell me everything tell me everything about how he was killed." Okay, yeah. Okay, do I continue to me everything about how he was killed? Kudo pulled out his notebook from inside his pocket. He said, "The homeless man was found dead inside his little box on 22 Hall Lane Street. The police found that he had no wounds on his body at all." He had no wounds on his body at all. I thought that was strange. I thought about it. A homeless man was found dead, no wounds on his body at all. He was poisoned by some kind of drug, an unknown poison that won't be traceable in an autopsy. Kudo looked at me. We were both thinking the same thing. Kudo said, "It was some kind of drug. I remember because I observed the victim's lips were a little blue. I paced back and forth with my hands behind my back. I said, yes, he was definitely poisoned by an unknown drug. And now that I think about it, Urban's organization has a lab. I deduced they created a new poison that can't be found by an autopsy. Pause after that. By an autopsy. Kudo flipped to his notebook. He said, I also talked to someone named Mind Factor about Ursulum. He told me that he is working with Ursulum on something that would change the world. Do you know Mind Factor? I nodded my head yes. I pulled out a silver knife and stabbed myself inside the heart. I yelled out loud. Kudo tried to grab the knife, but waves of darkness and light slammed into him, knocking him out. Okay, pause after that one. Mystery of Alright, let's keep going. The voice inside my head said, we meet again, Mr. Detective. Are you ready to take on the powers of darkness and light? Only one person has done this in history, your mom. She couldn't control the powers, so it destroyed her, but her soul lives on inside the light. Pictures appeared inside my head of my mother. She was wearing an all-white dress. She disappeared. I said, she's not dead? How? The voice said, I will tell you later. Now get ready. I will give you the powers of darkness and light. They are needed to beat Mind Factor and Ursulum. They are needed to beat Ursulum and Ursulum. They are needed. Okay, let's read the next part. A wave of darkness and light surrounded me. I felt the power of darkness go inside my body. I saw nothing but darkness. Then I felt the power of light go inside my body. I felt very powerful. I closed my hand, making a fist. I raised my fist to the darkness. A ball of light shot out from my hand. It clears the darkness away. The voice said, good. You are learning quickly. I will be with you forever. I will be a part of you. My name is Golden. I am the keeper of the lights. Kudo got back from the ground. He ran to me, said, what the hell is going on here? I walked toward Kudo and said, I'm fine. Let's go. Kudo observed my eyes. He said, where to? I said, we should go to the kingdom of fire and ice. We started walking to the deck. Golden said, you know, I knew Ursulum. He's a member of Silver Bullet. I would say he's the third top person in the organization. I heard that there is someone who is even more powerful than Ursulum. His name is unknown in the whole world. Kudo said, who are you talking to? I said, Golden. He's the keeper of the light. He's here to aid me. I know how to get inside the kingdom of ice and fire. Kudo said, how then? I pulled out a short red rod. It was made of steel. It was short like a cane. Golden said, for you guys to enter the kingdom of ice and fire, You must pass 2 tests. So to do so, Kudo looked at him. He said, I can hear Golden. How? I couldn't before. Golden said, that's because you're pure good, so you can hear me now. It takes a few minutes to really hear a keeper of light. We walked near a huge cave. It was in the middle of the wall. The wall was red, and you can tell that if you touched it with your bare hands, it would surely burn you. I said, so Golden, what do we have to do to open the wall? Kudo said, this wall is only half. It's only half. It's fire to pass the test. Both of you will face what creatures are inside the wall, and another thing will be something huge at the end of the wall. I thought about it. What creatures are inside it, and what is the huge thing we will face at the end. Kudo looked at me. I knew we were thinking the same thing. Golden said, I think Keepmon should face this test alone because he has great powers and have to first be unlocked. Yes, Kudo shook his head. He said, no, I go where my partner goes. We have each other's backs no matter what, how dangerous or powerful the enemy might be. Golden said, very well spoken. You're very brave. Now hold the rod near the wall. It should open up. I hold the red rod up near the wall, and the tip of the rod turns bright red. A beam of red light comes out of the rod. It hit the red wall, and we watched as the wall turns dark red. Then we hear a loud crack in the middle of a wall. A door appears. It opens. It was kind of rusty. It's open. Kudo and I walk inside the wall. We walked inside a room. It was huge. On the floor was fire, and there were 2 swords inside the fire. Kudo said, your first test is to successfully pull the rod from tuning past. Missing. Stopping.